Right now, a lot of teams are spending almost as much time managing their AI as they are doing actual work. You open a tab, type out a highly specific prompt, copy the output, paste it into a document, and then spend 20 minutes manually correcting the formatting. It is exhausting. To solve this friction, developers are moving away from reactive chatbots toward proactive, managed agents. Instead of typing into a blank box, you give the AI access to specific skills and external tools so it can gather its own context. This leads to the autonomous coworker, an embedded AI that can receive a single high-level goal, plan out the necessary steps, execute them across different software, and deliver a finished brief without needing you to hold its hand. Crucially, these agents do not live in an isolated browser window. They sit directly inside the communication hubs you already use, like your team's Slack channels, waiting to be tagged. Managing these agents effectively requires a change in how we work. It means learning how to delegate multi-step tasks to a system that can execute them across multiple platforms without constant human supervision. If we track how this technology has evolved, Claude actually laid the groundwork here. They pioneered the managed agent standard by creating a system of modular skills and file architectures that let AI interact with outside data. The primary limitation with Claude's approach is that setting these agents up requires significant technical effort. You have to understand how to build and maintain complex backend files to route the information properly. Now, ChatGPT has introduced an agent ecosystem designed to disrupt that exact limitation. They have built a system that offers highly autonomous logic loops without requiring the user to write a single line of code. Business leaders are facing a clear dilemma today. You have to decide whether to invest serious engineering hours into building custom, highly controlled architecture through Claude, or adopt ChatGPT's zero-code, template-driven approach right out of the box. This comparison matrix breaks down the exact trade-offs between the two ecosystems, starting with the setup process. ChatGPT allows users to visually select from over 20 pre-built templates, like a chief of staff or a design partner. Because of that visual interface, a user with zero programming experience can deploy a fully functional, tool-connected agent in under 5 minutes just by clicking through prompts. Claude lacks that immediate, consumer-friendly interface. Managing Claude's agents means manually updating connector files and skill directories in the backend. But that speed comes with a cost. ChatGPT relies on broad templates to make things accessible. Claude's developer-heavy approach allows enterprise engineering teams to hard-code rigid, specific guardrails into the agent so it never deviates from company policy. OpenAI made a deliberate choice here. They traded granular architectural control in favor of giving non-technical teams the ability to deploy operational AI immediately. Let's look at the next row, the Autonomy engine. When you give a ChatGPT agent a vague directive, something like, critique this checkout flow against brand goals, it operates differently than a standard chatbot. Instead of just guessing, the agent independently recognizes that it does not actually know the brand's goals. So it initiates its own unprompted web searches to read up on the company's delivery promises and target audience before it starts the critique. It actually goes further than web searches. To analyze the visual design of the screenshots provided, the agent will actively write its own Python code in the background, execute that code to crop the images into specific sections, and then evaluate each piece. Nobody told it to write code. It decided that was the best way to accomplish the goal. Here is the reality check. Because the agent is running multi-step logic loops, writing code, and compiling independent research, it takes time. A complex task will sit pending for 5 to 10 minutes before delivering a result. True AI autonomy means stepping away from the expectation of a rapid-fire, instant chat response. You have to start treating this like asynchronous work, passing off a heavy lift and moving on to something else while it processes. Finally, we have to look at workplace integration, driven by the Model Context Protocol, or MCP. This is the bridge that allows the AI to plug directly into your external business software. MCP allows the agent to independently cross-reference an upcoming meeting in your Google Calendar against a client communication thread in Gmail, or pull direct records from your CRM software to prepare a daily brief. But the real leverage comes from native Slack integration. Once a single manager builds a ChatGPT agent and adds it to a public channel, Anyone on that team can tag the agent and utilize its workflows right inside their standard chat thread. This level of integration introduces a strict operational risk. Giving an autonomous agent the ability to read public and private Slack channels requires rigorous data privacy hygiene. You have to be absolutely certain about who has permission to access which data. Deeply embedding an agent into team communication acts as a massive efficiency multiplier, but it immediately turns permission management into a critical priority for your IT staff. Looking at this decision tree, choosing between these platforms does not come down to which AI model is smarter. It comes down entirely to your engineering resources. Do you have dedicated AI developers on staff? If the answer is yes, and you are an enterprise team that requires highly custom pipelines with strictly controlled developer-managed execution steps, Claude remains the powerful, structured choice. If the answer is no, if you are a non-technical founder or team leader who needs immediate return on investment, zero-code deployment, and native shared access for your staff in Slack, then ChatGPT is the clear path forward. What OpenAI has done here is productize the concept of the enterprise AI agent. They have taken high-level, multi-step workflows and made them fully accessible to the mass market. Successfully integrating AI into a business requires a clear operational strategy. The software can now handle the execution, but only if the workflows are properly defined. You need to audit your team's daily routines today. Identify the multi-step research, the cross-referencing, and the heavy data entry workflows that you can fully delegate right now. Getting a machine to answer your questions quickly is table stakes. The true value of this era is finally trusting an embedded coworker to execute complex tasks completely on its own.